You know that feeling, that moment where the pressure is just intense, everything's on the line.
Absolutely. We've all been there.
Maybe you're a CEO heading into a really tough board meeting, or you're a coach trying to manage halftime chaos, maybe an athlete staring down match
Yeah, the emotions run incredibly hot in those moments.
and trying to keep your performance high, stay clear-headed. It can feel almost impossible sometimes.
Definitely. But what if there was a tool, something simple but really effective that could help you navigate that? Thrive, even.
That's exactly what we're digging into today. This deep dive is all about exploring a specific technique, one backed by science.
Right. The mission here is to see how it can dramatically lower that emotional resistance we feel, help restore cognitive control.
And ultimately reduce what our main source calls suffering. It's about finding that calm, that focus, when everything feels like it's spinning. And our guide for this is Coach Ed Padalecki. His work, especially this idea he calls name it to tame it, it feels like a shortcut almost.
A really powerful one. For managing your internal state when things get tough, he's a fantastic guide for anyone in those high-pressure worlds.
So Coach Padalecki starts with something pretty foundational, an equation, actually.
He does. It's suffering equals pain times resistance. Simple, but really profound when you unpack it.
Okay, suffering equals pain times resistance. Let's break that down, the pain part.
Well, think about it. In high-stakes situations, pain is often just there. It's part of the deal, isn't it?
Well, like a market downturn or a key player getting injured or just a really difficult conversation you have to have.
Exactly. That external pressure or internal discomfort, you often can't just wish it away. It's a given, sometimes.
Okay, so if the pain is maybe not constant, but often unavoidable, how do we reduce the suffering then? The equation suggests we can.
That's the key insight. We can't always change the pain, but we can change the resistance.
Okay, so resistance is the variable we can actually control.
Precisely. Think of pain like gravity. It's a force.
Yeah.
But resistance, that's like the friction inside you. It's the fighting against what is.
The denial or the anger that things aren't going your way, the fear.
All of that. You can't turn off gravity, but you can definitely reduce the friction, make things run smoother.
And Coach Padalecki says the way to do that, to lower that resistance, is labeling emotions.
Simply labeling them. It sounds almost too basic, doesn't it?
It really does. How can putting a name to a feeling actually cut through real suffering? What's happening there biologically?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting down in the neuroscience. When you feel those intense emotions, frustration, anxiety, anger, fear popping up.
Which happens all the time in high-pressure roles.
Right. Your limbic system, specifically a part called the amygdala, it can basically hijack your brain.
The amygdala, that's the brain's alarm system, isn't it?
Exactly. It's ancient, designed for survival. When it rings that alarm bell, it floods your system, puts you into fight, flight, or freeze.
And when that happens, rational thought, strategy, poof, gone.
Pretty much. Precise execution goes out the window. You're just reacting on instinct, which isn't always helpful in a complex business situation or a game.
Okay, so our primal brain takes the wheel, but this is where name it to tame it comes in. You're saying just labeling the emotion interrupts that hijacking process.
That's the kicker. When you calmly, deliberately, and without judging yourself for feeling it, just put a single word to that feeling.
Like just thinking anxiety or frustration.
Exactly. That simple act actually activates your prefrontal cortex.
Okay, the rational brain.
The CEO part.
Right. And studies show that activating the prefrontal cortex by labeling the emotion sends a kind of calming signal back to the amygdala. It essentially tells the alarm system, okay, got it, you can quiet down now.
Wow. So it's not just ignoring it, it's actively down-regulating that alarm bell.
It is. It's a genuine physiological shift. You're creating this tiny bit of neural space between the raw feeling and your reaction to it.
And just a single word label is enough, like overwhelm or disappointment. That single word can act like a dimmer switch on the emotional intensity. What you feel is often a sudden return of clarity, a bit of calm.
A sense of regaining control instead of being swept away by the feeling.
Exactly. Brings your cognitive control, your strategic thinking back online.
Okay, let's make this practical. What does this mean when you're, say, right in the thick of it? Coach Padalecki has an analogy for this, right?
He does, a great one. He says it's like calling a timeout in the middle of a chaotic game.
Get that.
You pause, you reset, you breathe, then you execute.
That makes so much sense. In the heat of the moment, boardroom, sideline, wherever that quick pause can be the difference between reacting badly and making a smart, calculated move.
It really can be game-changing. And this isn't just theory. This is what elite performers actually do. Top athletes, experienced coaches, successful execs.
They don't just dissolve into panic when the pressure ramps up.
No. They've often trained themselves, maybe without even knowing the exact neuroscience, to notice that emotional spike, mentally name it, and then immediately shift focus back to the task at hand.
It's a rapid shift from feeling overwhelmed to focused action.
Deliberate. Yeah.
And like you said, this applies way beyond sports. That CEO walking into the tense board meeting, feeling that dread.
Or the sales leader prepping for that make-or-break presentation.
Or a founder getting unexpected bad news from investors. Those are their chaotic games.
Absolutely.
So before that feeling totally takes over, Coach P has some really concrete steps. Let's take that CEO again. She's walking towards the door. What does she do right then and there?
Okay, so it's super quick, almost internal. She feels that tension building. Step 1, just pause. A micro pause.
Not stopping in the hallway, just an internal beat.
Exactly. Then, instead of letting the feeling spiral, she silently labels it. Just one word, maybe anxiety or pressure.
The key is no judgment, right? Not why am I so anxious, just naming it.
Right? Just label it. Then, Coach P says, take a breath. Again, not a big dramatic thing. Just one conscious inhale, maybe a slightly longer exhale.
Okay, label, then breathe.
Then, she asks herself the crucial question. Now what needs to get done?
Ah, that shifts the focus immediately. From internal feeling to external action.
Totally. It moves from how do I feel to what's the very next step? What's the precise action needed right now?
And then the final step is?
Execute that next thing, whatever it is. Maybe it's just making eye contact as she walks in. Maybe it's sitting down with purpose. Maybe it's saying her first sentence clearly.
One small, precise step forward, breaking the cycle.
Exactly. It short-circuits the amygdala's grip, brings the rational brain back online. It's a skill. Gets faster with practice.
Okay, but there's an important point here, isn't there? Coach Padalecki warns this isn't about getting stuck analyzing the feeling.
Oh, absolutely crucial. This is not an invitation to wallow or have a full-on therapy session with yourself in the middle of a crisis.
Right. It's not about digging into the why right then.
No, it's a rapid intervention, a tactical move, really. It's about cultivating something called emotional agility.
Emotional agility. What does that mean in this context?
It's the ability to notice your internal stuff, thoughts, feelings, sensations, without getting tangled up in them. And then, crucially, responding effectively, in line with your goals.
Okay, so acknowledging without getting hooked.
Exactly. And Coach Padalecki often quotes the psychologist Susan David here, who says, emotions are data, not directives.
Ooh, I like that. Data, not directives. Explain that a bit more.
It means your emotions are giving you information, maybe signaling a challenge, or that something is important to you. It's valuable data.
But it's not an order. It doesn't have to dictate your next action.
Precisely. The feeling doesn't force you into a spiral of anxiety or anger. You get the data, you acknowledge it, and then you choose how to respond based on your values and goals.
So naming the emotion is like acknowledging the data point? Okay, noted. Anxiety present.
Right. You see it, you understand its message. Perhaps this situation is high stakes. But then you consciously pivot to deciding your next move. It frees you up to act strategically instead of just reacting.
That seems incredibly important for leadership, resilience, sustained high performance in general.
Hugely important.
So let's bring it back to daily practice. For the professionals, coaches, athletes listening, how do you make this a habit? Coach P has that 1% better daily idea, right?
He does. He boils it down to 3 simple steps to remember when you feel that heat rising, that resistance building, almost like a mental checklist.
Okay.
First, label it. Just find that single clear word for the feeling. Frustration, pressure, disappointment, name it.
Step 1, label. Got it.
Second, breathe through it, but take that conscious pause, that intentional breath. Inhale, slightly longer exhale. It calms the nervous system, anchors you.
Step 2, breathe. Okay.
And third, refocus on execution. Ask yourself now what needs to get done. Find the very next, smallest, precise action and do it.
Label it, breathe through it, refocus on execution. That's the sequence.
That's the circuit breaker. You can use it anywhere, anytime. No one else even needs to know you just did it.
It really highlights this core idea we've been discussing. Naming your emotional state, as simple as it sounds, is one of the fastest ways back to your performance state.
It truly is. It's a direct path to regaining that control, that clarity, that focus, right when you need it most. It's a key separator for high performers.
So wrapping up this deep dive, We've really unpacked Coach Ed Padalecki's Name It to Tame It.
We've seen how just labeling an emotion can actually change your brain's response, dial down that resistance, and bring back clarity under pressure.
It's not about ignoring feelings, but acknowledging them and then choosing your response, a really vital tool for anyone operating in high-stakes environments.
Absolutely.
So here's something to think about as you go about your day. The next time you feel that internal resistance starting to build, that anxiety, that frustration, whatever it is for you, can you commit to trying it? That one word, pause.
Just label it, breathe, refocus on the next step.
Yeah, just notice what happens. Observe how quickly your focus, your performance state might just start to return. The power really is right there.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We hope this gives you some food for thought as you continue on your journey.